Boozy, welcome back to the fold. Curly, how's the hammy? How's that preparation been?
Cheers, Tommy. Yeah, mate, I'm really excited to be back. Been training pretty hard since being back from Paris, doing a bit of work at the Waratahs previously, maybe a good 6 weeks of high intensity training, and then got invited to participate in the group leading up into the South African test. Kind of finding my feet, still chipping away on my fitness. Hammy's feeling good, back to top speed now, and yeah, ready. I feel ready, and just really excited to be back with the group. We've got a big challenge this week against the ABs, and the focus will be just trying to put all the good energy, positive energy into trying to get the right results.
How long were you not running for at that point, Curtly? Did you think that might be sort of your year done? Like, it seemed like a pretty bad hammy.
Yeah, mate, I ruptured the semitendinosus, so a bit of a strange injury. I did that back in February against Bordeaux, playing for Paris, Racing 92, and about 5-6 months I was out for. So had a good chat with Rob and kind of had to make sure that I had the with Dave. Sorry, who's Rob? Who's Rob? No, and we had a good chat and put a plan together, and 8 weeks down the track, here I am, and just really excited to be here and pumped, mate. It's been a while, and just keen to kind of rub off on the group, my experience, and trying to help out the guys as much as I can, and add that value to be able to get the right results we want.
I know you had a taste of it up north last year, and then obviously now being back on Australian soil in a Wallabies camp, how different is this environment?
Mate, obviously last year there's been, since the spring tour up until now, there's been a lot of growth. I think a lot of guys are now playing back-to-back test matches, all that growing a lot of experience, and I think in terms of the group, they're growing, their knowledge of the game and experience. I think that's a huge factor that I've kind of observed from the sidelines, and I think that's a huge positive, and it's a good sign for a group to be going in the right direction. And there's some big learning curves along the way, some good wins, some tough losses. But again, it's all a part of the experience at this level, and I think it's only going to help us be in a good position later on in the year and going into a World Cup year. I think we're on a good track here, steady track, but we understand that we need to lift our game from last week. A disappointing loss in Sydney. The Springboks really gave it to us there in that physically, and really dictated the game up front. So we're aware of that, and I think the greater motivation now is to play the ABs, to test ourselves against one of the best team in the world, I think. And it's a huge challenge for us, and we know coming into the camp yesterday, a lot of the guys are keen to rip in and make sure we're focused and putting in all our energy to put in a special performance in Melbourne.
I think Slip said after the game he wanted that South Africa side. He wanted the players to kind of sort of embrace the hurt of that loss and kind of after a couple of sort of inconsistent performances. Has that performance been talked about yet in camp, and sort of how can you kind of harness that heading forward for the rest of this Play Cup series?
It's kind of been a bit of a trend for the Wallabies, hasn't it? We tend, after a break or after a bit of time off, we come back, we really attack the first game, but then playing test match rugby, the challenge is to back that performance up, making sure you're physically and mentally prepared and ready, doing all you can individually, but as collectively as a group, making sure that you are ready to go. And usually the opposition, whether that be Argentina or South Africa, you're poking the bear there a bit. And so the second test match is always going to be a huge challenge. And I think, credit to South Africa, they are the world champions. That they were going to come back the following week and put in a special performance. So, we've just got to make sure that we get better this week. We did some review this morning, and the guys understood that there were a lot of opportunities that were missed. And then the focus will be about making sure that we're connected, that we realise the opportunities, and just restore that confidence in each other, having that belief in our systems, and going out there and delivering that. And that'll be the big challenge this week.
I guess for Rob, well, how special would it be? Sorry, if next week coming back to Melbourne, playing in the Bledisloe home, so on your home state, how special would that be for you?
Yeah, it'd be unreal. I think just obviously playing on my footy there and born there. I think the last test I went to over there was probably when the Wallabies came down to play Ireland. So I was there watching that. But actually being on the field in the place of your birth, in front of friends and family and a city that I love dearly, would be unreal and something I'll never forget.
Hi, Curtly. Julian here from The Telegraph. I've got a non-Bledisloe Cup question for you. As a Wallaby, you get to meet a lot of famous people, including members of the royal family. There was a really famous photograph of you a few years ago when you met Prince William in the dressing sheds. I think it was at Twickenham. I just wonder, with the passing of the Queen, whether it's brought back any of your memories of meeting members of the royal family and on trips to Britain, and specifically, did you ever meet Queen Elizabeth either at Buckingham Palace or at Twickenham?
Yeah, mate, I remember it vividly, meeting Prince William after a special win in Cardiff Arms there at Millennium Stadium. But I think that's the perks of playing the great game of rugby. You get to meet some special people along the way, and I think it's always a huge honour when the royal family come to visit and watch the game, to support the game. And yeah, it's obviously a memory of a lifetime, very special times. But yeah, I didn't get the opportunity to meet the Queen. I think I missed out on that tour. I think that was 2008 when the guys met Her Majesty there. So yeah, it's obviously just special. But yeah, it's always a real honour and something that you kind of remember for a long time. Did you meet?
Curtly, it's Mel Woods from AAP. I just wondered if Dave has given you any indication of how he might see you being used in the squad. And excuse my ignorance, but where have you been playing in for racing? What position have you been playing this most of the time there?
Yeah. So at the back end of the tour, in the spring tour, played 15, filled in there for a few injuries there in that area, in that position. Mostly outside backs, but in Paris I've been kind of slotting in at the 12 position, the 10 position. I guess my versatility kind of helps me in those areas as well. But I think mainly here in this group it would be the outside backs, I'm assuming, fullback. So yeah. Dave.
And given you haven't, sorry to interrupt, go.
Yeah, and I think the key message for me is from Dave is just to make sure that I'm sharp, pretty straight, simple. But I understand what he wants me to be. He wants me to, make sure that I've got the speed, the agility that I once had. And after a long injury, it's important that I'm confident in my ability to be able to display that.
And given that you haven't played since March, I mean, how many minutes do you think that you're more likely to come off the bench because you maybe don't have a full game in you?
Yeah, the squad's not the team's not selected yet, but I guess for me, I'm just making sure that I'm doing all I can to be ready. I feel ready now, so if given an opportunity, I'll make sure that I'll put my best foot forward. But if not, then I'll just keep grinding away, helping around the team, making sure that the 23 that are selected are ready and firing to go. And again, using that experience that I've had in the past, helping a lot of the guys in front of me, making sure that they are ready, and hopefully that support and that help can help them be better in their preparations and confident to go out there and get the job done.
And Rob, no Artie Surveyor coming with the ABs. Does that sort of, I suppose, help the case? He's a pretty handy player for them. I mean, how are you guys sort of the forwards approaching it, and I guess feeling coming off that Springboks loss?
Yeah, we know Artie's a great player and will be a big miss for them, but I think just for us as a forward pack that we're looking forward to is the physical battle, and we know we've got to be better than that after the last game. We've reviewed pretty hard, been honest with ourselves, and been criticised, and just being honest and being able to take it on board. So for us, it's just being able to front up for that physical battle against the ABs because we know they'll bring it.